So today I'm going to show you how to make an Italian meatloaf. In Italy they call it a polpettone, which pretty much just means like a big meatball. So we have our beef, which is 85% ground beef, and we have sausage. And if you go to your butcher, you can ask the butcher to give you the sausage without the casing. It's actually cheaper and it makes your life a little easier. So we have a mix of beef sausage. If you want, you could do a mix of beef, veal, pork, beef and pork. I mean, it's really all preference. I like the way the beef and the sausage taste together. So we have a pound of beef and a pound of sausage. So now we have some bread, and this is really just fresh bread, but if you have old bread or stale bread, you could just kind of take out the inner part and then soak it in milk. And if you don't have milk, you could soak it in water. So we got the milk in here, so we're just gonna kind of squeeze the bread, allow it to rehydrate, and if you can see the bread soaked up all that milk. And now we're just gonna squeeze all the milk out of it. So this is like a great way to kind of like stretch your meatloaf. By adding the bread, you actually make a bigger meatloaf. A very cost-effective ingredient. And it makes it taste better. It's a lot more tender, it's softer. And this is really the secret to the soft meatloaf, the bread. You want to get as much milk as you can out. So we got our meat, our bread. Now we're going to add in some Parmigiano. So we got about a cup of Parmigiano. And if you don't have that cheese, you could use Pecorino. Either one. I like the way the Parmigiano tastes with the sausage, so we're going with Parmigiano. We have 2 eggs, so you're going to need an egg per pound of meat. 2 eggs and some thyme. Now I'm skipping the salt because the sausage is salty and then the cheese is salty. So I don't want to add any more salt into this. And that's it. Now we're just going to mix this up. So yeah, there's really no other way than getting your hands in here and mixing this up and squeezing. This will kind of allow everything to mix well and get nice and incorporated so that the beef, the sausage, the bread, everything is nice and mixed. So the meat is nice and mixed. You can see the color, it has like a pink color. So we're gonna set that aside, get some parchment paper. We're gonna roll this up. So we're just gonna throw the meat on here, kind of give it a little bit of a shape. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now we're going to roll this, and this really helps it shape. You can get a perfectly shaped meatloaf. If you twist the sides, kind of like a candy. You want to squeeze the sides so that it compacts the meat, so that it's even and it cooks evenly in the oven. So now let's get this on a tray. That looks good. So now if you want to cook this in the oven by itself, you could just put a little vegetable broth, a little olive oil, and just bake it. But we're going to add some potatoes in just to kind of make it a complete meal. So we're going to put some potatoes on each side. And these are golden Yukon potatoes. That looks pretty good. We're going to add in some onions. I already chopped these up. We'll season this up with a little salt, some pepper, and some fresh thyme. Now we're going to add in a half a cup of white wine, kind of split it. I'm using a dry white wine, like a Pinot Grigio works great. And then we have a half a cup of vegetable broth. And this is going to give us nice juice at the end so that we could kind of glaze the meatloaf. And now we'll top everything off with some olive oil. And the olive oil gives it flavor, but also helps give the meatloaf some color and helps everything from sticking. So now we're going to take this, we're going to pop it in the oven, 400 degrees, center rack for about an hour and 10 minutes. And that's it. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes, and this is what we got. This looks great. Just took it out of the oven. You could see the We got a lot of juice in here on the bottom from the wine and the broth. And this came out great. We can't cut into it yet. We have to give it about 5-10 minutes, let it rest, so all the juice stays in the meatloaf. All right, so this part's always a little tricky, getting it out of the tray. This out of here. All right, perfect. So we're gonna add the potatoes to that, but before we do, I wanna show you what they look like. They're crispy on the outside a little bit, but they're really soft, and they sucked up all the flavor from the broth and the wine and the vegetable broth. So these are like really, really tasty potatoes. So we're gonna just kind of surround the meatloaf with them. And this is really like a great Sunday dinner, family dinner, holiday dinner. It's really all about just baking. So if you have the time, you just kind of put this together, throw it in the oven, let it bake for an hour, and you can have this dinner really any night of the week. So we got our strainer. We're just gonna kind of run this through it. Just kind of get that fat out of it. I mean, the onions are tasty. I mean, you could leave it as is, but I feel like get some of that out of it. That's perfect. This is the liquid gold right here. So what we're gonna do now is just kind of just pour this right over the meatloaf. And that's it. That's the meatloaf. So we let this sit for like 10 minutes because we want to let all the juice kind of stay in the meatloaf. And if you cut into it too soon, it'll all just come out. So it's been sitting 10 minutes. Now it's time to cut into it. And I'll show you what it looks like inside. So let's cut this end piece off just to kind of move that over. And now this will be our first slice. And so we'll just cut the whole thing up here. And this is really great if you have a family or a holiday or a party. This is really the type of meatloaf that will impress everybody. And the sausage with the beef, the combination, it works really well. Every time I make this, everybody goes crazy for it. So we'll get this on a plate. Nice piece here. Look at that. And you can see how soft it is. You can see the juice is still inside of it. This looks great. I have a little more juice, might as well. Top it off. And we'll cut into it and I'll show you how soft and tender it is. Look at that. So good. It's soft. It's moist. The sausage in here, I think the sausage is really what makes this one unique or makes this meatloaf so good. Because that mix of sausage and the beef and the Parmigiano, it really has a unique flavor. And if you try this recipe, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just really good. And the thyme, the potatoes, the onions, I mean, it works perfectly. So you definitely have to try this recipe. And if you want to take your Sunday dinners or your holidays or your parties to the next level, check out my lasagna recipe. It's linked right here. And if you try this one, let me know how you like it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.